everyone, my name is Norvia and welcome back to my channel. For June in my bullet journal, I wanted to switch things up a little bit from my usual style. Instead of using any stationery to decorate, I decided to go with a fully hand-drawn theme for this month. Since June is officially the start of summer, I wanted to go with a bold, playful theme that features some of my favorite board games. Opening my journal, the first page I'll start working on is my gratitude log. First, I'll write the numbers 1 through 30 down the left side of the page. This leaves one line for each day where I can write something that I'm grateful for. On the right side is my cover spread and quote page combined. The fonts that I've decided to use for my titles are based on Scrabble tiles. I use that font style for both my gratitude log and cover page titles. For this month's quote, I decided to go with, "You can discover more about a person in an hour of play than in a year of conversation," by Plato. I felt this was very fitting with the board game theme, and that's why I decided to use it. Moving on, I'll start drawing the board game decorations. On this page, I've decided to use pieces and elements from games such as Monopoly, Tetris, Chutes and Ladders, Rummikub, and Tic-Tac-Toe. As I've said before, all the decoration for this month's theme will be hand-drawn. Therefore, the only links I'm going to put in the description are links to my bullet journal, Sakura Micron pens, and Crayola Super Tips. I've done completely hand-drawn decorations in several past themes of mine. However, these have all been done in previous years for me, and this is the first time I'll do a completely hand-drawn theme in this bullet journal. I thought it would be nice to show a little bit of variety, and also to show people that you don't need to buy a bunch of supplies to have a nice looking journal. After drawing everything on the page, I'll start coloring them in. Then as a final touch for this spread, I'll go back to the gratitude log to do second line highlights. Flipping the page, I'll move on to my calendar spread. This month is going to be pretty busy for me, so I wanted a lot of space to write down everything I need to do and all the events that are happening. Therefore, I decided to use a large calendar and spread it out between the two pages. Each calendar space is a 5x5 box, in addition to leaving one space on top to write in the days of the week. After completing the outline for the calendar, I'll move on to do the title and to draw in the decorations on the page. I use things like playing cards, timers, dominoes, and chess pieces as my decoration for this page. To gamify my calendar a little bit more, I decided to color in specific boxes to look like Tetris blocks. You will see I made a slight mistake on this page with one of the playing cards. For the 4 of diamonds, I initially used black instead of red. To fix this, I decided to turn the diamonds into spades. Let's flip the page and begin working on my habit tracker. This month, I've decided to leave space to track 7 habits. First, I'll outline all 7 boxes. This page is based off Candyland. Each of my 7 habits represent a stop along the map. In the background, I'll decorate with candy such as suckers, peppermints, gumdrops, and candy canes. After outlining where I want all of the decorations to be, I'll write in the numbers in each box. Then I'll use my Crayola Super Tips to color in both the candy and the trail. Moving on to the other side of the page, this is going to be my mood tracker. I've created a grid that is 5 columns across and 6 rows down. This will be colored in with a black marker to make a chessboard. At the bottom of the page, I've drawn 6 chess pieces to represent my moods. At the end of each day, I'll fill in an individual square with the chess piece that represented my mood for the day. On the white squares, I'll be able to use a normal pen, but on the black squares, I'll use my white gel pen instead. Flipping the page, I'll now start working on my first weekly spread. On the left side of the page, I've drawn 8 rounded boxes. 7 of these will be used to represent the days of the week, with the final 8th box being used to write any notes that I have. On the opposite page, I've left space for my meal tracker and for decoration. I've included a pencil, a spinner, dominoes, and various game board pieces. For a final touch, I've decided to color in the backgrounds of the writing spaces to look like Uno cards. Moving on, we'll move to our second weekly spread. The first thing I'll do to this page is make a vertical Dutch door. The Dutch door will be used for a majority of the writing space, and it'll leave a lot of room for decoration. I decided to theme this page around Scrabble. I wanted the words on the Scrabble tiles to represent the theme. So therefore, I've used words like Scrabble, Roll, Clue, Catan, Tetris, Dice, Tile, Cards, Chess, and Spade. The background tiles are colored in with a light brown versus the words being colored in with a dark brown. Flipping the page, we'll move on to my favorite spread in the entire theme. This page is based on the board game Clue. For the writing spaces, I wanted to use different sized boxes to represent the various locations of Clue. In the middle of the page, I've got various weapons that can be used in Clue, including the candlestick, the wrench, and poison. I really love how this page looks at the very end when everything is colored in. Finally, we'll move on to the last page in the setup. I'll begin by cutting out another Dutch door. As I said before, cutting out Dutch doors allows for a lot of planning space, along with a lot of room for decoration. This entire weekly spread is based around Monopoly. I've included various game board pieces, along with several of the icons you'd see on an actual Monopoly game board. As we get close to the final flip through, I want to thank you for watching my video all the way to the end. If you enjoyed it, I'd really appreciate if you could like, comment, and subscribe. I'd love to know what your favorite board game is, along with which spread was your favorite. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.